behind things that I think I could have, at least I can help bring attention to it. I can't change things. You know, we're not a government, my wife and I. We try to get involved in things that we think we can, and we fail. I fail most often. You failed a lot in Darfur, failed a lot, quite honestly, but it's worth the journey. And I'm worried about the coarsening of America. I'm worried about how we celebrate. He was just this knucklehead. I knew him before he was, a president. He was just a guy who was chasing girls. You know, every time you went out, he'd come over and be like, what's the name of that girl?
Let's get this straight. Donald Trump called George Clooney a washed-up actor after Clooney dropped truth bombs so harsh, they'd make a nuclear physicist flinch. The irony, while Trump was rage tweeting from his golden toilet. Seriously, who needs that much gold? Clooney was busy donating $500,000 to kids fighting for their lives. But here's the kicker. Trump absolutely lost his mind when Clooney pointed out that instead of preparing to be president, little Donnie spent his youth chasing girls and dodging STDs like they were subpoenas. The contrast couldn't be starker. On one side, Clooney, the silver fox with the charm of a diplomat and the moral compass of a saint. On the other, Trump, a feral raccoon in a suit who thinks Art of the Deal is a memoir, not a crime scene report. But why'd Clooney finally snap? Turns out these two go way back. Trump once called Clooney's marriage to Amal Alamuddin a joke, because nothing says romance like a man who cheats on his wives faster than he cheats on golf scores. Clooney clapped back, calling Trump a dangerous fraud with the attention span of a goldfish on Adderall. And then came the meltdown. Trump, never one to let facts ruin a good tantrum, took to Truth Social. George Clooney is a total wash-up, no talent, bad actor. Caps lock, the official font of fragile egos everywhere. Meanwhile, Clooney was at a charity gala, sipping bourbon and casually saving the world like the human equivalent of a Mission Impossible soundtrack. The best part, Trump's tantrum only proved Clooney's point. You don't need to be a genius to see through a con. Clooney shrugged. You just need to watch Trump explain why he's immune to bullets while hiding in a bunker. Before you go, if you're here for the chaos, hit subscribe. Over 98% of you freeload like Trump at a buffet. We see you, Donnie.
Idiots saying dumb.
You know what this is? It's a snowball. So it's very, very cold out.
Dumb is highly contagious, infecting the minds of even the most stable geniuses.
If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, they say the noise causes cancer. You tell me that one, okay?
Let's talk about evolution. While Trump was perfecting his golf swing at Mar-a-Lago, scorecard, birdies 0, meltdowns 45, George Clooney was busy saving lives. From co-founding Not On Our Watch to combat humanitarian crises to serving as a UN messenger of peace, Clooney's resume reads like a how-to-adult guide for billionaires. And that's what makes his takedown of Trump so brutal. It's not just jokes. It's Judgment Day from a man who's actually earned the right to judge. In a recent interview, Clooney didn't lob softballs. He fired truth missiles. Trump isn't a leader. He's a xenophobic fascist who's in way over his head. The guy starts campaigns by calling Mexicans rape, then wonders why people think he's racist. It's like throwing a grenade and pretending you're the Red Cross. He's a knucklehead who mistakes fear-mongering for policy. You don't build a wall to make America great. You build schools, bridges, and maybe a effing conscience. Clooney didn't stop there. He skewered Trump's immigrant boogeyman routine, pointing out how it contradicts the give me your tired, your poor DNA of America. Trump's selling a dystopian sequel to The Purge, but the only thing getting purged is basic human decency, he said. The best part? Trump's response was classic, I'm not mad, you're mad, theater. He fired off a Truth Social rant. Clooney's a washed-up liberal snowflake. Because nothing says presidential like arguing with a man who's negotiated with warlords while you were firing apprentice contestants.
If Donald Trump wins, have you thought about the possibility he might use the power of the federal government against you personally?
You don't have to be faster than the bear, you just have to be faster than the pow.
I'm the kid.
Yeah, I have, but I'm comforted in the fact that he's coming after you first.
That makes you feel better?
Yeah.
But Clooney's critique stings because it's earned. This is a guy who stared down dictators, funded refugee camps, and married Amal Clooney, a human rights lawyer who's forgotten more about justice than Trump ever knew. Trump's tough guy act is laughable. Clooney shrugged. He's the human equivalent of a participation trophy, loud, empty, and obsessed with winning imaginary contests. The best part is that Clooney provided real facts to support each critique. Trump tries to stay away from those annoying things, you know. Instead of merely calling Trump derogatory names, he cited his actual policies and remarks. Trump's response plan is still in place in the interim. What am I like, even though I know you are? Some orange bully in the schoolyard. However, how does being called a knucklehead affect a grown man with nuclear codes? About what you would anticipate, the leader of the free world decided at precisely 3:17 a.m. that attacking George Clooney's acting career was more important than actually sleeping or managing the nation. Both men were exposed by Trump's late-night Twitter outburst. One, whereas the other just puts his mouth everywhere, John puts his money where his mouth is. Calling Clooney a washed-up actor who should stay away from politics and only appear in bad TV shows was one of the highlights of Trump's epic meltdown. From The Apprentice star, it's pretty rich.
This, but he posted in July. So now fake movie actor George Clooney.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that movies are fake, does he?
I don't think so.
Clooney should get out of politics and go back to television. Movies never really worked for him.
I will if he does.
Who never came
Hannibal Lecter
close
is his guy.
to making a great movie is getting into the act. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they both are. What does Clooney know about anything? He debut, which I found kind of crazy that you never.
It's pretty stupid.
You've never been on Broadway.
No, I've never. I did one play. I've done a lot of plays in L.A., but I did one play at Steppenwolf about 30 years ago. It's been a long time.
Have you thought about writing an op-ed in the Times asking him to step down? Because it worked once. Why not try it again?
Yeah. So he's a big fan of mine. And I'm a wreck. I'm a nervous wreck.
You?
Sure. I mean, it's a very intimidating world.
Did you feel like this is something you need to check off? You know,
Did you say check off?
Career-wise?
As time went on, it felt like maybe I should do it. And I have to say, I'm terrified and it's exciting. We're going to live in New York for a while and try to not destroy Broadway.
Trump launched personal attacks on Clooney's career without responding to any of his actual criticisms. He is one of Hollywood's most bankable stars because of his Oscar-winning career. But hey, Trump has never been good with facts. Trump's spray tan is not as ironic as this. This reality TV host who had no prior political experience had the gall to imply that Clooney had no political knowledge. Gordon Ramsay might say, "I'm bad at brain surgery," in response to my criticism of his cooking. What was Clooney doing running the Clooney Foundation for Justice, which actively supports refugee resettlement and works with UNICEF to educate Syrian refugee children, while Trump was occupied with his Twitter tirade? Yes, Clooney is assisting the very refugees Trump has been disparaging for years.
Our news anchors have really taken a...
Could be. I don't know who'd play Sean Hannity. Maybe you should do.
Yeah. How long will you be on Broadway?
9 years, they tell me.
Yeah, is that right?
It's longer than I thought the run. No.
Yeah,
we just saw your acting
that
just
might
now.
be nice. Yes, thank you for including me in that.
Oh, you were very... Did you guys like his acting in that? As time went on, it felt like maybe I should do it. And I have to say, I'm terrified and it's exciting. We're going to live in New York for a while and try to not destroy. Go down. I would expect them to go back up again. Donald Trump's
When you follow the money, the contrast becomes even more embarrassing. Do you recall Trump's pledge to finance his own campaign in 2016? Yes, that did not occur. He broke yet another hollow pledge by becoming heavily dependent on donations. Clooney discreetly donated $500,000 of his personal funds to the March for Our Lives in the meantime. Just action, no boasting, no tweets. This pattern keeps coming up again and again. Trump posts a tweet. Clooney contributes insults to Trump. Clooney creates programs. Clooney educates the children of refugees while Trump demonizes them. At 3 in the morning, one man is rambling, while the other is genuinely making a difference in people's lives. While Trump spends his nights tweeting insults from his golden toilet, George Clooney continues to demonstrate what true leadership looks like. Perhaps the next time Trump calls someone a fake movie actor, he should see if they have millions of dollars and countless hours of humanitarian work to back up their claims. However, that would require research, and as we all know, reading isn't exactly Donald Trump's favorite activity unless his name appears every few sentences in the real world of actions versus Twitter tantrums. He talks about more than just helping people. In fact, he does. Clooney's strong remarks betray his actual nature. I sincerely hope that you target those who are stronger than you and defend those who are weaker. Clooney uses his fame to uplift others, in contrast to our orange former president who preys on the weak. There is no more obvious choice between our ex-president who throws tantrums and Hollywood royalty. The man who builds literal walls, or the one who builds metaphorical bridges, deserves our respect. I'm sorry, Donnie, but you're not the protagonist of this film.